Hello and welcome to Front Row Racing. This is the World Championship Reserves and I am Front Row Racing GP, and in the commentary box this evening we have got Lord JB and Curly Whirly. So over to you then, Lord JB.
Thanks GP. Hello everybody and welcome here. Hello Curly, welcome to your first time in the commentary box. How's it going?
Yeah, it's good mate, how about you?
It's going pretty well. Shall we quickly run through the drivers before we do anything else? So, do excuse me, I've got a bit of a sore throat. So in the Mercedes at this moment, we just have a Lycomel. Just be sure, GP, you there?
Yep, I am. Carry on.
Right, just be sure. In the Ferrari, we have Danny Railton and Dave the Hart. Williams, we have nobody. Nobody. Down in the Renault, we have Jensen and Drew. Interesting pairing. In the Toro Rosso, we have the lonely Schmidt. In the McLaren, we have Bereavement and Emra Ortel. And in the Haas is RLS Maranello. It's quite a sparse grid tonight, isn't it, Curly?
Yeah, we've not had as many people show up as we would like, but we'll get a few of the World Championship drivers in. However, they're just here to fill up the grid. We're not going to be too interested in those guys, the reserve drives that we're looking at tonight. In particular, from last race, we saw good races from Schmetz and Lycomel, so I think those will be two of the guys looking for a podium tonight.
Yeah, but we also did see a controversial choice from Danny Railton of not going on the mandatory tyre, which caused him to be disqualified. Do you think anyone would pull that again?
I think it's less likely at this track. At Japan we had a case where only the hard tyres was mandatory, but tonight it's either the soft or medium tyres that are the mandatory, and we brought the red-walled super softs as well. So drivers have got a little bit more option. There's plenty of strategy choices for them. The 1 and 2 stop are very similar in pace. So depending on drivers, how they feel on their tyre wear, and I think the main thing they'll be focusing on is trying to avoid traffic and get themselves into some clean air on the track. So I think we'll see a lot of different strategies tonight, but hopefully we don't have any disqualifications.
Yeah, should hope so. Kota is an interesting track. It sort of has the first sector is very tight and windy, much like Monaco. But then it opens up. It's much like Brazil in that way. How the second sector in Brazil is very tight and you can barely overtake. Do you struggle anywhere, particularly around this track?
I think the first sector drivers are going to be careful. It's very easy to corner cut in qualifying through the S section. This is also a track where it's difficult to get a good setup. The first sector, you really want a balanced car to get through the S as well. The first and start of the second sector, that's really what you need. The second sector has a massive back straight, so you can't go too high on the wings, and then the third sector is slower and more technical, but also wider sections of track through there, so lots of opportunities to battle and overtake. Very difficult track to get your setup right. Also for the World Championship, these guys are racing around with no assists whatsoever, and that's actually a specific difficulty of this track, is racing without the racing line. There's 3 corners on the circuit that have completely blind apexes. Turn 1, turn 9, which is at the start of the second sector, and then probably the hardest of all of them is turn 19, which is the penultimate corner of the track, and that is, I think we'll see in qualifying a lot of drivers going wide there. It's a completely blind apex and there's no marker under braking for you to have any sort of reference of where to brake and where to turn in. So I think we'll see a lot of drivers making mistakes there, so it's a particularly tricky circuit all round.
Yeah, and that does bring me on to, as Curly said about the about this being no assists. This is the no assists series, the feeder series into the full one, but this is where the drivers will start out. If they wish to race in the full league, they have to wait for a space to come available in the main league, or for a team to pick them up as a reserve driver, which unfortunately hasn't happened to me yet. I'd love that though. Why don't we do question of the day quite early? What do you think, Curly?
I think so. Let's get it out there. Give people a chance to think it over. So, question of the day for round 18, the American Grand Prix. How many retirements have there been at American Grand Prix?
It's quite a difficult question, because it is referring to every Grand Prix, not just America, not just the Circuit of Americas, but Indianapolis, Detroit, all of them.
Yeah, lots of different tracks there. I don't know the answer. I don't think you know the answer. So hopefully someone can get close to it. Do you have any predictions on who's going to be on the podium, perhaps? Anyone in particular to watch out for?
I'm going to look out for Schmidt. I think he's very fast. Him and RS Maranello have been quite fast. So I think we'll have to see how they do on track, which we are going over to right now.
Yeah, we've got the tire choices in front of us. So again, it's the super soft, the soft, and the medium that are available. The soft and the medium are the mandatory compound of tires. This is a track that's quite easy on the tires compared to some of the ones we've just been to. It's a little easier than Malaysia and Japan. Lots of strategy choices. I think we'll see a lot of different drivers doing different things. Also, with qualifying outside the top 10, if anybody, the drivers that are out there, they might try and do something particularly different. They'll probably try and run longer into the race. But this is also, it's a track where you're going to wear the front tires out a little bit more than the rear tires. So drivers are going to be careful of that and perhaps tune their setups to look for that.
Well, let's talk about the weather, because weather is the deciding factor, as shown in 2015 with this race. But we have the joy of no rain this weekend at this race tonight. So, do you think the drivers could scrub up some soft tyres to run so they come up to temperature a lot quicker?
Yeah, it could be a possibility. It looks quite hot for the first 10 minutes in qualifying, quite hot for the start of the race as well. I think we'll probably see some drivers go out and do some sighter laps early on and just see how the tires are reacting. But there's lots of different options in terms of strategy. I think we will see quite a lot of drivers on the super soft tires going for pole position. Turn 1 is quite tight on the exit. It's very wide on the entry, but it pinches a lot through the middle of the corner. So I imagine drivers will want to be as far up the grid as possible to avoid any turn 1 crashes there. So I think we'll see quite a few people. We've got people coming out of the pits now. Yeah.
Do you think anybody will overcook it slightly too much into the S's and send themselves flying across the gravel?
I think almost definitely we're going to see something like that. The S section's very tricky. It's very easy to cut. So I mean,
let's see who's coming on. Let's have a look at Emma Ortle. He's running the soft tires. Do you think I don't think he'd go out he'd just go for a banker lap right now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it seems like it. If you're coming out right at the start of the session on harder compounded tires, you're probably looking for a banker. I think the drivers who are looking to qualify on the soft tires will probably leave it a little longer, a little later into the session, wait. I'll probably do a slow banker on the super softs, and then they'll look to go out towards the end of the session where the track is rubbered in. So this is likely a banker from him. But, sometimes drivers will go out and they'll do a banker and they'll actually set a really good lap and then just decide to keep it.
Yeah. Well, he's going rather slowly round to turn 1, going around towards the line. Just on board with him now and see if he's going for it. So why don't you take us through the lap then? Go for it a bit early.
Okay, so up towards turn 1, pulls the right hand side. We're going to be up the hill braking. It's difficult to find that apex. He's not going anywhere near it there. He's run wide. I don't think he's invalidated his lap. There's a very tricky blind apex. Yeah, he's still going in towards the S section now. I'll down 1 gear, flick it into the left. You want to try and hold the car tight through the right hand side here. Don't let it run out too wide. Pull it back across the right of the track. And he's not quite done that there. And up the hill, that's the end of the first sector. He's done a 27.8 through there.
Competitive time?
I think there's quite a bit more time to find there. He's missed a few apexes on this first lap. down towards the hairpin, probably the slowest corner on the circuit. And this traction zone right here is crucial. You don't want to run wide there. You want to make sure you stay off of the curb on the outside. Otherwise it's going to cost you time all the way down this straight. He's coming down towards the end of sector 2, just 1 corner to go. Heavy braking zone. He's locked up heavily on the front left. He's run wide again. It's the second time we've seen that this lap. 41.9 through the middle sector. A little bit off there. I imagine he may put it in the pits after this. And through the third sector now. This is a very tricky corner. It's difficult to find the apex. Tough traction zone out of there. Now this is a great corner round. It's a triple right-hander. You can take this almost flat if you've got fairly high wings. He's taking quite a tight line through there and into the blind penultimate corner. He's missed the apex by an absolute mile.
That's
very tricky. Yeah, that's invalidation right there. So that's the corner I was talking about. It's very difficult to find the braking point and find the turning.
There is quite a bit of it seems that he's struggling with, well, it's braking in general seems to be struggling. So pop down and have a look at Maranello, shall we? The returning driver.
He's a guy to have a look at. He's on the soft compound tires. He's had 2 good laps, or 2 good sectors already, at 25.9 through the first sector, of 40.1 through the middle. It's looking promising, taking a very wide line through the final corner. He's run wide, though it's not invalidated the lap. He crossed the line at 38.7, and that has put him on provisional pole at the moment.
That, I think you may not have been watching Maranello there, because Maranello's just about to cross the line now.
Oh, hold on, I've been on the wrong driver.
Maranello's just gone
P2.
P2. Yeah. Okay, Maranello's gone P2. Yeah, with a good lap time. I thought something didn't sound quite right there, but yeah.
I was thinking, oh, have I lagged out?
There we are. Okay, let's see who else we can find just about to start a lap or on one. Drew has done sector 1. He's currently sat in 3rd place.
Now, this is a question. How's marbles on this track? Do you think the marbles are quite a danger to the drivers who are trying to get faster laps? As you can see, Drew's just ran through a load of them.
Yeah, I think particularly the first sector, the S section, if you run wide through there, I mean, it's very, very difficult to hold the car steady, and when you just go off behind just a little bit, you'll often lose the car entirely. So the drivers are going to be very careful through there, particularly on the early laps. I think Drew has abandoned this one.
Yeah, Drew's abandoned it.
I'm just looking at Danny Railton right now.
Yeah, I was just going to say...
He's a 26.4 and a 40.7 in sectors 1 and 2. Oh, I think that was a bit of lag, sorry. He just went completely off the track for me. Oh, yeah, I think that's the line. Yeah.
He's lagging quite a lot.
I think Danny is suffering.
40.4. He's very close to RMS Maranello, actually. Out of the reserve drivers, he's only half a tenth behind him. Fairly similar sector times. He was quicker through the middle sector, but slower through the third sector, so it might have been just that mistake there costing him. And they are currently sat 1 and 2 of the reserve drivers.
I was just looking through the drivers, and Akut is in here with us. So Akut, as many of you know, has been quite a force to be reckoned with in his few races in the reserves, and was immediately called up onto the up into the championship. Do you think that should have happened? Do you think that the team should have picked a driver that had been in the reserves longer, or do you think that he's just going to keep getting better and better?
I think it's always a difficult choice to choose between, you know, someone that's a known quantity and has been in the league for a while, or to go for someone that's looking to have very good pace. But he took pole in the championship race at Japan. Looks like he's got a lot of pace about him, so I think it's probably a good choice.
It is an interesting one. I certainly will go for the faster driver, but I'd be worried that they might hit their peak.
Let me cut you off there. We've got David Harp coming towards the end of his lap. He's on the soft compound tires, just coming around the final corner now. He's one of the reserve drivers. He's run a little bit wide. He's lost the rear of the car. It's a 41.3, and that's going to put him P7.
And where's that in respect to the other reserve drivers?
He's currently a couple places behind Maranello and Danny Railton. He's 9/10ths down on them. The first sector was good. He had a 26.5 through there, which was quite close to those two. But in particular, he's lost a lot of time in the third sector. He's 5/10ths down on Maranello through there, so that'll be where he's looking to improve.
Could that be his setup, just not being set up right for the slower section of this track?
Could be, yeah. It could be running lower wings. You got to. It's very difficult to balance it at this track. You're really looking for some straight line speed along that back straight. So you could be running a low downforce setup, and it's costing him in the third sector. Although his first sector is strong, so perhaps he's struggling for turning. Maybe he needs to look for a little bit more oversteer in the setup.
Schmidt has just started a lap.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Thank you, GP. Yeah, Schmidt's going for quite. Ooh, I don't know if that was a little bit of oversteer he had there, but he looks like he's going fast. He went slow last time. He's taking the S's beautifully.
Yeah, it's a good line through here. Gonna bring it across the right,
21.2.
throwing it into the
26.2,
left.
sorry.
That's very quick. That's the quickest of the reserve drivers so far. He's a little cautious on the throttle.
How is he going to take the hairpin? That's what I want to know. Little lock up. Not enough to do any wear to it, I don't think.
No, he should be fine. He's run a little bit onto the curb though, and that's going to cost him some time down this straight.
Coming down towards the split time. Just brakes hard. Brakes late. But gets it turned in beautifully.
That is perfect through there. Absolutely perfect. That's a 40.1.
Little lock up on the inside. The 40.196. How's that versus the other drivers?
Yeah, he's looking good. He's 4/10ths up on Danny Railton in the middle sector. Although he is on the super soft tires compared to the soft tires for Danny.
He did have that step of oversteer again, so maybe it's just.
Ooh, he's invalidated. He's messed up the penultimate corner there.
That is a shame. That could have been a very promising lap. Emma Orford is on a slow lap. I like him miles out on an out lap. He's on the soft tyres. So many drivers opting to choose the soft tyres over the super soft. Do they just think that the super softs won't last as long, or is it that the soft tyres just the way to go around here?
We've got something strange going on here. If you hop on board with RMS Maranello, his car is ghosted and he's still going round. I think he may have run out of fuel, actually. There's not long left in the session. We've only got 6.5 minutes left, so he's just going to struggle to get back around to the pits and get another lap in. He's currently sat in P8, the super soft tires.
Drew is on a flying lap right now. He's in a sector 1 of a 26.4. So that's respectable.
Yeah, that's looking good. He is on the super soft tires, but that's a nice time through the first sector.
I'm not sure if he's invalidated it though, because he did cut the corner. No, he hasn't actually.
He's still going. Yeah, he's gone away with it.
Yeah. 40.4 though for his second sector. That it seems slightly slower.
He's neck and neck with Danny Railton, but he is on the softer compound of tyre.
Obviously, we do apologise to the viewers for the slight lag and the connection to Drew and Danny Railton, respectively.
He's hit the apex of the final corner nicely. Oh wow, it's a 39.9. He's made up a huge amount of time. Danny Railton's just gone quicker, actually.
Danny Railton's just left the session. So has he lagged out, or is he deliberately left?
Likely
could you
lag
check that
out.
for me?
He's joined back now. He's not going to be allowed to go and set another lap, I don't think, though. So he'll have to wait in the pits. Got Schmidt on an out lap. Mal, he's on a lap and he's done a 26.0 through the first sector.
I'm just going to ask Curly a question. Curly, do you know, just noticed RMS Maranello's car still going round, ghosted.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
It's still going, so is that going to be increasing his tyre wear for the start of the race?
If these are the tyres that he set his fastest lap on, then yes, it will be. It's not a situation you want to be in. You'll probably be starting the race with an extra, 10 or 15% tire wear. Although because he is going so slowly, it won't be adding as much as you would normally get on a lap.
He seemed to come out of Ghost for a second when I clicked onto him, but then he went back in. So is he might be struggling with something on the PlayStation side.
Could be that, yeah.
Schmet's on a 26.2, or is that
validated his lap somewhere?
Yeah, I'd assume so because it's not popped up. Miles just come onto a fast lap. But he might be the one to look at. Because I might be getting a little bit of lag from him. I can't tell. But he's missed his yeah, I'm getting lag. But he's missed his apex at the start.
Coming through the F section now, he's looking his apex as well.
Yeah, he does take them nicely.
He had a very good run on his previous lap, but he invalidated it, so this is going to be his final opportunity to get a lap in qualifying. Otherwise, he's going to be starting down at P15 on the grid.
But on these tyres, at least.
Yeah, the softs will, even doing 2 or 3 laps in qualifying, the softs will comfortably make a one stop, so he doesn't have to worry too much about that. He can push these tires as much as he wants. Definitely getting a lot of lag on his screen. There's a 26.1 through the first sector, which again is a strong time.
See what he does around sector 2, because this is where it comes into it with the heavy braking and the slower corners. He just seems very smooth, or maybe that's a lag. I can't tell. 40.3.
40.3 is looking good. He's several tenths up on Danny Railton on the same compound of tires.
Takes that nice and smooth through into the triple right-hander. It's a very nice lap so far. From what we've seen of it, it might have been horrible to him, but it seems.
Ooh, he almost had to turn out of the apex there, but he's managed to rescue his lap.
That'll have cost him a little bit of time.
Again, through the final corner, past a little bit of nerves kicking in towards the end of it. And it's a 39.4, and he is P7 fastest out of the reserve drivers. That's a great lap time for him.
Yeah, that was a nice smooth lap, but he did seem to get a little bit greedy. Just watching Dave the Harp, who's on a slow lap.
I'm on board with Schmet, who's just finishing his lap. He's across the line. It's a 39.6 on the super softs. That puts him P8. So he's just behind the light bulb, but he's on the softer tire.
Yeah. This is quite a strategy race right now. We've seen people
hop on board with Danny Railton. He's about to start a lap on the super soft tires. The lap he set currently is on the softs, so 39.7. See if he can beat that on this run.
I'd assume he could. Provided he's got. Oh well, he's gone very wide.
Very, very wide through turn 1.
But 1 minute 30 in the session, so he'll get this lap. Maybe not another one.
It's going to be very close. I think he may just have enough time if he wants to push and go for it.
If he can keep it on the island, obviously. Taking the S's quite differently to any other driver, but still very quickly.
I don't have a sector time for him in sector 1.
No. Here comes sector 1.
I'm not sure if he's invalidated somewhere. The overall lap time is still going.
I think it's still going, yeah. He took that hairpin really nicely. Not a hint of any lockup at all.
Here comes a light mile. He's across the line on the soft tires. He's on a 38.9 on the softs. That's an incredible lap time.
Still watching Danny Railton
6 on the grid.
So he's pulling ahead of some of the championship drivers.
Indeed, that's a great time.
Yeah, I haven't got any sector times for Danny. Maybe if you reselect him, it'll pop up.
Yeah, I think his lap will have.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. Yeah.
Sorry, just voicing
possibility
that
because he
disconnected.
Yeah, exactly that. Little wide through the final corner.
Yeah. 39.5.
He has improved on his time by 2.5 tenths.
Taking the position away from Schmet.
Yeah, he's getting 1 place on the grids. Do you think that's worth it on a softer compound of tires as we get chucked out of the commentary, or chucked out of the timing screens?
Yeah, I take the faster time it does depend on how he does with fuel as well at the start of the race. Because how is the fuel consumption around this track?
It's quite easy. Drivers shouldn't have too much of an issue in terms of fuel around here.
So much like in Singapore, they could start with a lot less fuel in the car and hope that they can get high up the grid and further ahead, and get the fuel back later on in the race.
Yeah, now this is interesting. I'm not sure if Danny Rielton has invalidated his lap. Going wide there, but it looks as if he's slipstreaming with Dave the Harp down the straight. So maybe a little bit of teamwork coming in from the Ferraris there.
This is the last lap that we're going to have on this for this session. But I do have that slight fear that he did invalidate it from the from that corner cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, this section here with the triple right-hander is just great, and you can see drivers go too wide around here. That might be
just
interesting.
that corner there, very tricky. Down towards the final turn.
Does he improve? Little bit of a wiggle.
Currently sat in P9. He's run out of fuel crossing the line, I think, but he's gone P8 anyway.
Popped it up into P8. Have a look at David Hart gone into the pits, so I think that's it over.
Yeah, should be qualifying sorted.
It's an interesting session from a strategy point of view. No one bothering with the medium tyres. Any thoughts on that?
I don't think you can qualify on the mediums around here. I think it's just the supers and the softs that are available.
Yeah.
So in terms of our reserve drivers, we've got Emma Orta is on the softs, RMS Maranello on the softs, and Aleighnal on the softs. So those are. Hold on, I think there may be an issue with Maranello's.
Yeah,
I think he's only done laps on the supers, but yeah, I mean, Aleighnal, he's on the softs. He's quite a long way up the grid, probably looking to one stop. Very strong qualifying from him.
Yeah, it is. Aleighnal is fast, but is he going to be consistent enough to keep it in that position? That's what I'm thinking. Because there's a lot of fast drivers around this track, and this track is it favours some more than others. But I do think Danny Rielton, if he can get a decent start and decent pit stops, he might be in the hunt for that podium tonight. So, Curly, could you run through the podium through the positions, please?
Yep. So we've got a few championship drivers at the top. We've got F1 Roadrunner on pole with a 37.3. He's on the super softs. We've got A-Cut and Temp Fear, P2 and 3. They've got the soft compound tires, Certec Karatapi and Erna Ertram. They're 4 and 5. Breaking Clays on the softs in 6. Aleighnal, the fastest driver out of the reserves, in P7. Danny Rielton in 8th. GT5 King in 9th. And Schmidt, he's down in 10th. Jason with the first free choice of tyres. And we've got Drew, RMS Maranello, and Dave the Harp making up the remainder of the grid.
Now, I did see when we were waiting for the cars to come round that coming to get you is behind us. I know he's a championship driver, but it's just interesting not to put a lap in. Does he think he's gonna go for like fresher tyres at the start?
I think he's looking to do something different. He might well start on the medium compound tyres and try and run long into the race. I think he's been in here for a long time. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's probably trying something a little bit different, just practicing for the championship race next week.
So the base strategy is obviously a one-stop and a two-stop. The one-stop being softs, then mediums, and the two stops being super soft, and softs, or was it mediums?
2 sets of super softs, and a soft is the quickest way to stop around this track.
Right. Just a reminder to go onto the pause button for you, Curly. And then we can just have a chat about what do you think is going to happen? Because obviously turn 1 is very slow. It's essentially a hairpin. The question is, with Aleighnal and Danny Rielton so close together, do you think anyone's gonna get involved with them, or do you think that?
and he'll be joining back just to take the start of the race, so we can get the broadcast view off of the start. So that's why he's leaving and rejoining. I think he's back in now. So yeah, I think we'll see a lot of moves. It's a very wide run into turn 1, but there's almost definitely going to be some kind of crash around there.
Yeah.
Because the way the corner's set up, it pinches very much on the apex, and you're going to have cars going 3, possibly even 4 wide in there off the start. So I think that drivers are going to be very careful. There is a lot to be gained, particularly going up the inside, but you're taking a big risk while doing so.
So I was just looking at the race director anyway, but just looking that it seems Danny Railton has disconnected. Either it's most probably a disconnection issue, internet issue, but this could mean that he gets a jump start or a delayed start. That could cause a massive pile up into before even turn 1, as the grid isn't really that wide in retrospect compared to say what is it, Russia, for instance. They have quite a wide grid, don't they?
Hopefully, if he's aware, he just needs to be careful off the start. Perhaps if he's listening to the broadcast, he's reminded of that right now. Just looking at the tires that the drivers have selected, outside the top 10, we've got Drew, he's on the mediums, RMS Maranello. He's on the soft compound tires, along with Dave the Harp, 14th, he's on the softs. Emerald Ortel, he's in 16th, he's on the softs. So, yeah, those drivers looking to go for a longer strategy at the start of the race.
Yeah,
it
is.
Be interesting.
Okay, the lights are on. I'm going to be calling this start. The lights go out, they drive away, and it's a slow start for one of the Forced Indias, and it nearly ended up with collision off the line. There is some front wing flying around, and we've got a horse facing the wrong way. Contact at the first corner. 3 cars all stuck to the apex of the corner, and that's not how you get around there, unfortunately.
There is a car on the grass.
Yeah, I don't know who that was on the grass. Well, let's try and jump to...
Danny Railton.
Oh dear, well, we assume that there may be a problem there, and Drew unfortunately is retired from the session. So that's unfortunate for Drew. Don't know if it was terminal damage or not. I'm hopefully Curly might be able to find out about that. But Alarkim, who was the front running reserve driver, is currently still in the position he started in on the grid. Back to you, JB.
Yeah, he is. That's interesting that he's got it. He seems to have had a much large breather from Danny Railton's possible disconnection or lag start. But from what I saw, it's much like how Drew was last race, just sat on the side of the track. It's interesting.
Hold on, we have had one reserve driver with an absolutely lightning start. Schmidt is up to 5th place. He's come from
he's going for a move
on the grid. He's gone for a very ambitious move. That's on Erna Ertram. He's got the move done. Really just gone up to the inside and stolen that position away. A bit audacious, but well done to him. He's had a fantastic start.
Yeah. Do you think he could have taken the advice of running low fuel, and that's why he's had such a good start? We'll have to look at his lap times, especially now for the started lap.
Yeah, it is a possibility. You're a lot quicker on the opening laps if you're running lower fuel. It's definitely something I think is worth doing around this circuit.
Yeah, he's gaining on the WC driver breaking K's. Again, taking the S's like he owns them. Just absolutely perfect. He's gained so much time. Oh, Jensen's gone, sorry. Jason has gone. I do apologise for my immediate pronunciation of butchering names. Could you have a look at that, Curly? See if he retired due to internet issues or due to damage. That's a corner cut. You go, okay? Hey, your name is Kirby. Who am I talking about?
It looks like a DNF. So it does look like it's from. Well, it could be from. I think there's no incident on the race director, so it could just be a retirement.
Yeah.
But I'm on board with
gaining.
Schmidt at the moment. Yeah, he's P4. He is on the softer tires compared to braking place. He's on the super soft, braking place on the softs. And he's really reeling him in here. I think he's going to have an opportunity. We're only on lap 2. DRS will be enabled on lap 3, so he just needs to stick with braking clays right now. Don't get too aggressive. Just make sure you're staying within that 1 second window, and then you can go for a move with the DRS, because the slipstream along the back straight at this track with the DRS is massive. You can make up a 5 or 6/10 gap along that straight, so he's just got to try and hold on to braking clays until then. He's not got the DRS now, but he will going off the back straight on this lap.
Yeah, it is. Braking clays seem to be doing a lot of locking up. So, do you think he's putting extra wear on his tires to try and get away from Schmidt?
Could be that he's pushing hard. Looking a little further back, we've got P8 Alikemal. He's battling a little bit with Acut. Acut's just gone past him at turn 1. He's following through the S section.
Yeah, so if you just go back onto Schmidt, he is gaining massively on clays. He seems to be very strong in the first sector, but then sort of loses it through the second and third. But he's going to have DRS coming up there. Oh, little snap of oversteer.
He's had a big oversteer moment, but he's in the slipstream. He's got the DRS. He's coming towards.
I don't think he's
not going to be close enough. No, he's not close enough on this lap. That mistake out of the hairpin there is just cost him a little bit too much time. He's just got to be patient and wait. He should get an opportunity sometime soon.
Oh, he's got very close through that slow corner. It seems that Clays is getting a lot of oversteer. Oh, he's going for a move, but he thinks better of it. It is a waiting game, and Schmidt is getting a little bit impatient by the looks of it. He wants that place.
Yep, Alikemal has lost a position to come to get you. Alikemal's down to 9th place, but he is on the soft compound tire, so he's going to be looking to run longer.
So after the first couple of laps, can you just run through the grid for me?
Yep, so leading the race, we've got Tempfear, F1 Roadrunner, Braking Clays in 3rd, Schmidt, who's the leading reserve driver, he's in 4th. Erner Ertrim in 5th, GT5 King in 6th, he's on the super softs. Acut is on soft tires, he's in 7th, coming to get you. Alikemal, reserve driver, he's in P9. Over King, he's the leading medium runner. Then we got Amro Ortel, he's in P11. Jamie James and Dave the Hart, who's already made a pit stop, he's fallen down a long way. And then we've got
contact related.
RMS Maranello in 15th place, he's on the medium tires, and Certek Karatapi is battling actually. Let's hop on board with RMS Maranello.
Yes, let's head down to Maranello, because I don't think Schmidt is going to get close enough this lap, or for a while now, because I think his tyres might be dropping off a little bit.
He's battling with Certek Karatapi, who is a championship driver. They've been switching places a couple of times. RMS Maranello is on the medium compounded tires, so there's a little bit of a disadvantage there, but he's holding on to him well, and he'll probably have an opportunity along the back straight. They're very close going through the S section.
So he pitted.
Yeah, on you go.
So he pitted for a new front wing. Was that that must have been during the turn 1 skirmish? Do you think he came out the best of it?
I don't think so. He's lost a lot of positions, and in terms of time, he's a long way back. The leaders are currently rounding the final corner, so they've lost a huge amount of time to the leaders. They're currently 52 seconds
sorry to interrupt
behind.
you. RMS Maranello is coming round. He's taken the spot from Certek Karatapi. What is my voice today? But how long do you think he'll hold it against the soft tyre, against the medium tyre?
We could see these drivers just switching positions fairly regularly. The slipstream around here is very strong. Actually, Karatapi's having a little look at him through the 3rd sector, not quite. He's pushing him through that corner.
He's coming around to that right-hander. That's brilliant. He's got such a bit of speed around here. Certek. Again, locking up. Is that... There must be a setup issue with the lockups.
Yeah, possibly needs to move his brake balance a little rearward if he's locking up a lot on the fronts, or just needs to calm down a little bit. They have been battling.
Let's jump down to Emeraldo. Where are you? Emeraldo.
He's side by side through the first sector.
Have a look. Has he got any? I don't think he's got any damage on him. Must have just been wheel on wheel.
Yeah, his front wing looks intact. He's right behind Jeremy James still. He might be a little bit too far back, but he's still in DRS. He's just got to hold it there. Be patient at this track.
You really have got to wait for that prime opportunity around this track, because the corners are very sharp. They seem to. It's only the triple right-hander that seem to flow perfectly, apart from the S's. But the corners just seem really sharp. You've got to turn your thing and hope, turn your wheel and hope. But it seems that, you know, you just gotta. Well, I don't know where I'm going with this. With the with the lockups and the setup issues, it seems many drivers' setups aren't behaving the way they should be at this point in time in the race. It is only lap 5, and the setups could behave more. But to see Maranello be able to take just to jump onto Maranello, actually, he had Certek right alongside him, but through the triple right-hander, but he fended him off. And I think
I think Certek's going to have a little look at him down the pit straight here, possibly. Maranello's cut
very
final
close.
corner a little.
A little bit of oversteer there from Certek.
Certek has just pulled out of the slipstream a little bit, so he's not looking for a move down into turn 1, I suppose up into turn 1. Could possibly be looking for it.
I mean, this could be either saving Certek's tyres with the fact that Maranello is pulling him along, or it could be destroying his tyres because he wants to get past him but he can't.
Could also be saving some fuel, that is a possibility.
Oh yeah.
If he has underfueled his car a long way, then there is a chance of that. I'm on board with the Leichmal, and he is closing up to some of the championship drivers in front of him that are on the super soft. Cerner Ertram and GT5 King, and he is slowly but surely reeling these two guys in. I think now is about the time where these soft compound tires are going to be a little faster than the super softs. He's currently sat in P9. He's second out of the reserve drivers, and this is looking
just by
more and more like a very strong stint for him. Schmidt is still in 4th, I believe.
Yeah, he is. I just ran through him. Oh, big lockup into turn 1, but still keeps it on the track. And that's where the Jamie James, the World Championship World Championship driver, has just retired. I do apologise for my slurred speech. I'm not drunk. I'm just incredibly bad at talking tonight. See, that's where the wideness of turn 1 comes in handy. If you lock up, you know there's a lot more track to go on. But it doesn't help you when you're trying to reel in drivers like Mal is right now.
So just having a little look at the timings, and he is definitely catching them hand over fist, I think, at this point.
I missed that. Just to let you know, I'm saying that, no one's talking. Schmidt in 4th is under some pressure from coming to get you in the Williams.
He's actually going to go for a move up the inside. He's run a little deep there.
Ooh. And that is a prime example. Yeah, that's a prime example though of the super soft tyres starting to get to the end of their lives, and the soft tyres being quicker. But Schmidt is holding on well.
If he's aiming for one stop, he needs to go a little further, which he is doing. He's run a little deep into the first corner, but I think at this point he's got to think. He's got to think of the long game. I wouldn't battle with these two too much. Just try not to lose too much time. He's gone defensive, and actually coming to get you, he's got her way up the inside again, and he's got the move done, beautifully done from coming to get you, very late on the brakes. And now Schmidt's under pressure from A-Cup. He's on the soft compound tires as well, so these super softs are definitely going off, and A-Cut's gone around the outside in the S section, and he's gotten the move done. That is an incredible move from the World Championship driver. And Schmidt looks like he's really struggling. He's really struggling on his tires now. I think they'll be coming towards the end of their life. It's lap 8. He's already done a qualifying lap on them, and he looks like he's really struggling. He's heading to the pits sometime soon.
What lap would you just go on to like Mal, who's right up right to earn eruption? A little celebration from me for getting the name right for once. But he's right up in. He's right coming up to the DRS. He's in DRS. He's coming up. Just simple move.
Yeah, heading down the inside. This should be easy for Mal. Needs to get this done.
Massive lockup from Earn Eruption though. But Earn Eruption's trying to come back, but he's just not quick enough on those tyres.
Those tyres, they've had it at this point. The super softs are looking very out of shape. And Mal's got that position. So he's now actually up to 6th. He was running in 9th a couple of laps ago, so he's moving through the field very quickly. We've had F1 Roadrunner is the first person to pit out of the leaders. So he might be looking for a 2-stop. He's gone to the soft tires. He's one of the championship runners, though.
Yeah, so we're not exactly bothered. Let's pop down to Schmidt, our leading man. He's in the pits. Let's have a look at
see what he goes for.
He's going for another red reset.
Ooh, that's a 2-stop then. Alright, 2-stop, and that'll be a very aggressive strategy. He's got to push now. He's run those first set of tires long into the stint, so he'll have a little more life to play with in this second stint. He's really got to push and try and get an undercut on those drivers that are one-stopping, especially a Mal. He's on the soft tires. He's probably on the one-stop. So this is the moment for Schmidt. He's got to make up that time. He comes out 3 places in P9, and he's got a lot of clear air in front of him. So he's found himself a good gap on field. Serta Karatepe retires from the race.
Oh, he seems to be struggling on that on the straight after the first S in the S's. It's what allowed A-Cut to get past him. You think just a little bit of his setup might have taken a knock, or do you reckon he's yeah?
He could have made a slight change as well at this pit stop if he's noticed that he's struggling, in particular with oversteer, understeer. You can adjust that front wing. It's possible that he's done that, but now is the point for Schmidt. He's really just got to push as hard as he possibly can. Mal is currently 12 seconds up the road from him, so that's the gap that he needs to run down.
So the battle between Emma Ortel and RS Maranello is coming to a little fruition, but I do think that Emma Ortel on the soft tyres isn't going to catch him in time before his tyres run out of life. The soft tyres will soon be running out of life, won't they?
Yeah, they should go until lap 12 or 13. That's probably where you're aiming to pit.
Huge lockup, that's not going to help. While we're waiting for the drivers to pop into the pits again, shall we hear the question of the day again?
Yeah, let's go for it. So, question of the day is, how many retirements have there been at American Grand Prix?
Yeah, it's the American Grand Prix in general, not just the Circuit of Americas. It involves Indianapolis and the Detroit tracks from Retro F1 back in the classic cars. Those.
So
do you remember? You can. Oh, you go, Curly.
So if you got any sort of idea what that could possibly be, we do not know the answer. Myself and JB don't know it. He's given you a lot more help, I think, than some of the other commentators normally would. They hold their cards to their chest. But yeah, if you have any sort of ideas, then make sure to put it in the YouTube chat, and we'll grab your answers at the end.
Sorry, Emerald Ortal just bounced off the curbs in the S's. It seems that he is struggling with those tyres. Maybe he's running a lot of downforce, therefore putting too much strain on the tyres.
Could be, and RMS Maranello is just driving away from him at the moment. He lost a lot of time having to pit early on. He had to pit on lap 1. His pace at the moment is looking very good, and he's pulled a 5-second gap back to Emma Ortal in the space of about 2 or 3 laps. So good pace showing from RMS Maranello, but he's currently stuck down in 12th place, so he's going to need something. Oh, Dave the Harp, he's just gone off. He's hit the wall.
Oh,
he's just ahead of RMS Maranello. He's on the soft compound tires.
Well, we've got Alika Mal, who's currently being hunted again by F1 Roadrunner. And F1 Roadrunner, has he pitted yet? I think he has,
yep.
Hasn't he? So he's on fresher tyres, and I like him out. Even with the tyre wear, seems to just be driving easily around here. But he is holding Roadrunner up. Roadrunner did, I think, lock up and go deep into a corner, which allowed him to get past. But that's like him out into 5th. For now, he's struggling with a lot of oversteer coming down into the back straight.
It'll be interesting to see what Alekmal chooses to do here. If he chooses to battle with F1 Roadrunner, or if he chooses to try not to lose too much time. Roadrunner's not always going to have a move down the inside. A very late braking move. He's run a little bit deep. And Alekmal's going to try and come back to him on traction. He's not got enough though, and that is the position for F1 Roadrunner. I think for Alekmal, he's on a different strategy from F1 Roadrunner. Don't get caught up battling too much and just try and hold on to him for now.
That snap of oversteer he had just knocked him straight out of the traction fight. You think Roadrunner already could see that he was struggling on traction, and he knew that he'd snap oversteer? Comes in.
Yeah, as actually that's Alekmal into the pits on lap 11. That's quite early for the soft tire runner.
He's gone ghosted. Oh no, yeah.
I'll
going for the
stay on board
medium
with him and see what tires he's gone on. He's on the medium, so that's a one stop definitely. From here on out, he'll be looking to take those tires all the way to the end of the race. Now let's see where Schmidt is. Oh, he's already into turn 1, so Schmidt has got to continue to open that gap because he's got another pit stop to make. He'll be looking to come in probably lap, I would say 17, 18 is probably where he's aiming to get to, and then hop into a set of soft compound tires. But he's got to get the most out of these super softs.
Yeah, his dashboard on his steering wheel is telling him to pit. He wants him to pit soon. Let's have a look. Who else? Where's Emerald Auto hanging out? Has Emerald Auto stopped yet?
He's down in 13th place at the moment, and he has not stopped.
Ooh, so those tyres are going to be screaming at him to let us come in. We need a break.
Yeah, lap 12 on these tyres. I think he did start outside the top 10, so they were fresh tyres. But he'll be coming towards the end of their life, and he'll be on the one stop as well. He's currently got Dave the Harp in front of him, but that is Dave the Harp is 14 seconds down the road. And sometime in that moment where we're looking at Alekmal pitting, RMS Maranello, he's gone up past Dave the Harp.
Yes,
so he's now up to 11th place. He's got 8 seconds in front of him until the next car, which is GT5 King, so that's who we'll be focused on next. GT5 King on the medium compound tyres, although he has pits already, so those are mediums.
What lap did he pit?
GT5 King pitted on lap, well, that would be lap 9, I think, that he came into the pits, so pretty new tyres. But RMS Maranello, yes, they should go to the end for lap 9. Okay. RMS Maranello, he has made a pit stop, but that was on lap 1 due to lap 1, and also he had a stop-go penalty at his pit stop, so that's an extra 5 seconds on as well, so that's been a very costly first lap for him. But he's been on these medium tyres for about 11 laps now, and he's still going well. His times are looking very good. He's in the mid-42s at the moment, so his pace has been very strong.
You just check the sector times of Schmidt versus Alekmal to see if Alekmal's catching him or not. Because I do feel that Schmidt's been a bit messy through this lap that I've been watching. There's no real battles on track at this moment that we're interested in. Coming round still into the slower section, again struggling with that traction. Him and Alekmal themselves coming in just after that back straight, struggling with that traction. Coming towards the triple right-hander, perfectly placed for that apex. Triple right-hander now, just gently teasing it around.
Their sector times are quite similar. So Schmidt really needs to push it and get a move on here. He's still a couple tenths quicker per sector, but if he wants to make this two-stop strategy work, he's got to increase that gap. Otherwise, he's just going to come out too far behind Alekmal at the towards the end of the race. He's going to have too much to do. So he's really got to get the pedal down and pull that gap.
Yeah, they're 10 seconds apart. but now there's a car between them as well, because I think a Red Bull, one of the World Championship drivers, must have span it into turn 1. But he has gone up a position. But they're 10 seconds apart. The minimum loss here in the pit lane is 20 seconds. So
yeah.
how do you think he's gonna? Where do you think he's gonna be able to gain the most time to push to get that 10 seconds?
With the super soft tires, he's got to be looking at sector 1 with the S section. He should have a lot of extra grip through there, and then also the traction zones in the 3rd sector is where he's going to be looking to make up some of that time. Schmidt is quite close to coming to get you in front of him. Still, he may be looking to make a move and come to get you. He needs to push on. He needs to get past the drivers in front of him. Because he's got to be close to Alekmal when he comes out. It's okay if he comes out behind, but he doesn't want to leave himself too much to do in that final stint.
Yeah, but Alekmal is 34 seconds from the leader, which is Akut, his former teammate and I believe friend. But Schmidt is 21 seconds, so that is too small a gap for him to pit and stay close to him. He'd be at least, what, 8 seconds behind him.
Yeah, he's got to try and pull this gap. If he can get it, if he can get the gap to about 15 seconds or so, where he's coming out of the pits 5 seconds behind with about 10 laps to go, I think that would be enough with the difference in tyre strategies. Because he would then be on the soft tyres compared to Alekmal on some old mediums. But he's got to try and get that gap up as much as he possibly can.
No real battles on track at this time. They're quite spread out, which is normally a rarity. But he's a World Championship driver.
Yep, so we'll just go through a run of the grids as it currently stands. We've got Akut leading the race. He hasn't stopped yet. He's on the soft compound tyres. He's run a very long stint at the moment. Temp Fear in 2nd. F1 Roadrunner is in 3rd. Breaking Clays, he's in 4th on the medium compound tyres, coming to get you in 5th. Schmidt, he's our leading reserve driver on the super soft tyres. The only driver, I think, in the race at the moment on the super softs. Alekmal in 7th, Erna Bertram.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was just looking at the incidents. Alekmal does have a 3-second penalty.
Ooh, that can have a big impact then. So for Schmidt, he's just got to get within that 3 seconds at the end of the race. He doesn't have to worry about passing him.
Yeah. Just running through again just to try and be sure that he hasn't got any more. Continue with the grid.
Yep, so RMS Maranello, he's in 10th place after first lap incident, but good pace has moved him effectively, fairly consistently up the field. We've got Dave the Harp in 11th, Emma Ortel in 12th, and that is the remaining drivers. Those drivers that we've lost from this race: Overdijking, Surtek Karatepe, Jeremy James, Jason and Drew. Jason and Drew are 2 of our reserve drivers, and they DNF'd. And I believe that we've lost Danny Railton as well. I think we lost him sometime very early on.
Yeah, I don't think. In all honesty, I didn't think he started.
I don't think so. I think his car was pulled off to the side, so I think the game has just retired him.
Still there. That is a little issue I have with this game. A little bit of a thing I have with this game is the fact that it sometimes will retire you and then leave the car there. It won't disappear the car, making it because then if you're driving past it and you're in battle, it also brings up the proximity arrow. So you can't tell if the proximity arrow is the person trying to overtake you, or if it's Danny Railton sat on the edge of a track.
Can be quite useful if you're defending, though. You get some free DRS to help yourself defend. But just looking at the timings, Schmidt and Alekmal are very similar on the times at the moment. So Schmidt's tyres are clearly running out of life, and I think he's going to look to pit fairly soon.
So sticking with Schmidt, he just does not go into the pits. Do you think he's going to try and stretch it to past 17? Oh, big oversteer there. Almost planted it into the wall. Oof. That could have ended very badly.
I think he's starting to struggle on these tires. I think it's time to start looking for the pits. He's starting to lose a bit of time, I think, to a like Malma. Just looking further down the grid for more of our reserve drivers. We've still got Maranello in 10th place. He's currently chasing after GT5 King, who's in 9th. And it does seem like he's closing that gap. When we last checked up on Maranello, it was 8 seconds. It's now down to 4. So Maranello really showing some strong pace here today. David Harvey's in 11th on the medium tires. And Amber Ortel is our final runner at the moment. He's letting a couple of the leaders through. Good job on the blue flags there. He's down in 12th place.
So could they be catching, would the leaders, in theory, be able to catch Dave the Hart? Because he is on the medium tyres.
He's a good 25 seconds down the road, so possibly at the end of the race, but not at the race. So he needs to worry about that.
JB, could you just clarify for us why it is that we are focusing on certain drivers and not all of the drivers?
Well, the reason we are focusing on some of the drivers and not the whole grid is that this, as well as being the feeder series to the World Championships, it's also used as like a test session for the Schmeck comes into the pits. It's also used for a test session for the World Championship drivers who want to use it as just a session to see what it'd be like next week for when they're racing. But we don't want to spoil any of their racing tricks yet, so we focus on our guys, not on the guys next week.
As well, for the teams that are looking for drivers, they're really interested in having a look at the other reserve drivers. They know what the championship drivers are capable of, and RMS Maranello has left the session. Hopefully he's able to get back in. I think that's disconnection, yeah.
Right. Good job. Oh, Schmidt taking that curve very wide. I'm not sure if he just got a penalty for that. I will take a look.
Really throwing the car around. Olaikmal is not too far ahead. Let's have a look at this gap. It's 7 seconds.
Schmidt has been given a 3-second penalty.
They both got penalties now, so it should be even. And he's got to run down this 7-second gap. 10 laps to go. 7/10 lap, I think that's possible. It's about the difference between the two sets of tyres, and Schmidt's tyres are slightly younger.
Let's have a look at Olaikmal, see how he does around some of the corners. He has that a lot of oversteer coming out of that last corner, so that could force Schmidt to catch up, but then Schmidt does as well. But Schmidt is a lot less as violent, not as violent as Olaikmal's. So this is an even playing field now with the two of them having the 3-second penalty. So it is whoever finishes in front of the other one at this point.
Yeah, Olaikmal looking as if he's really revving out his engine there. No short shifting from him, so he looks as if he's pushing very hard in the traction zones. He's clearly aware that Schmidt is pitted and is behind him and is on the faster tyres, and Schmidt has taken huge chunk of time out of in that final sector.
They'll lock up into turn 1, but still hits that apex. He is a fantastic driver, this lad, isn't he?
Schmidt was 8/10 faster through the final sector alone on that last lap. So I think we're going to see a battle fairly soon.
Yeah, this is brewing into a big battle here with the between Schmidt and Olaikmal, because he just takes the S's so beautifully. Just like he's not even trying, just like he's ice skating. But then it comes into the attraction zones, right? Oh, we can see him in the distance though. The attraction zones is a big worry between these two drivers because their setups do not like the traction down at the base of the long back straight, which they're both on right now. We'll jump onto Olaikmal, see what he does around this traction zone. He's taking, yeah. Still sliding the rear end a lot through that sector. Just seems that he's just not as confident as some of the other drivers are in that braking zone. I'd like to see how he does at the end of the lap on that traction zone, because that's where That's where Schmidt seems to struggle. He's coming around now. Oh, he's locked up. He's gone off the track, but he's come back on. I don't think that'll be a penalty, but he'll have lost some time.
Be interesting to see what his lap time compared to Schmidt is on this lap. Have a look at the sectors, and Schmidt looks very, very quick. Let's see how much he's taken out of him there. So it's a 41.0 for Schmidt, and it's a 43.6 for Leitmal. So he's taken 2.6 seconds out of him on one lap alone.
And with 9 laps left, I think he might just have him.
I think Leitmal's going to need some kind of defensive masterclass at this point to keep Schmidt behind him, but we'll see what he's got. The difference between the tires will lessen towards the end of the race, so Schmidt needs to catch him quickly. He needs to try and get past quickly. But he's driving beautifully at the moment. And you can see a Leitmal now. He's got him in his visor. He's not quite within DRS yet, but he's not far away.
No, he's not. I really do hope we see a good battle at the end of this, because there is a strong possibility. Let's see if we can see a Leitmal's traction from this angle. No, I couldn't really see it, but he seemed to be a little bit sideways. But he just seems Schmidt is so much smoother.
He's taken another 8/10 out of him in the middle sector.
He's right there.
I really hope we get a good battle, because this. This has been brewing all race. We've got these two different strategies, the one stop for Leitmal, the two stop for Schmidt, and we've been waiting for this for 20 laps, and he's got him, within 3 seconds now. That's a driver going wide. Emma Ortel.
This will give Schmidt DRS though.
Oh, could possibly, yeah. See who does get the DRS. A little twitchy there. Does not have it open.
No, he didn't. Must have just missed out, but Emma Ortel did take quite a chunk out of that little battle we were gaining there, didn't he?
I think he's just taken a chunk out of his front left tyre as well. A huge lock up into turn 1 there. It's a difficult braking zone. But Leitmal, he has upped his pace. I think he's realised what's going on. He's on a 42.3 on that lap.
Could he have been saving fuel?
It is possible. Schmidt is on a 40.8. It's his fastest lap of the race. In particular, his middle sectors are incredibly quick, so he is really running Leitmal down.
Yeah, no playing anymore, boys. You need to make this interesting, because we're hyping this up massively.
Just another point, RMS Maranello's car is still ghosted, so he's left the session. I don't think he's coming back at this point. Hopefully he does, but Dave the Harp has gained the position on him. He's up to 10th place now. So he's on the points.
I did look at the Leitmal's cut the corner. That has opened it up. They are in the slipstream now. Leitmal's locked up. Oh, this is going to get interesting up into turn 1. So as Schmidt is going to have DRS. This is for the win of this race. Doesn't make sense, but it is. For 6th place, this is the win for the reserves. As we only take only for the podium interviews, we only take the top 3 they only take the highest reserve drivers. Who's got DRS now? Coming round.
I think he's got to be patient here, Schmidt. He's got to pick the right moment to go past. Don't throw it away by being impatient. He's just got to wait.
I think
he's too far behind on this lap.
Yeah, that moment is at the base of. That moment is at the base of the final. Of the long straight. That's where Leitmal seems to struggle the most in all of this. Little twitch there from Schmidt though, as he came around the S's. He just gains so beautifully around there. Absolutely fantastic. Again, moving out so he doesn't get a penalty. Can you just make sure that neither of them have any more penalties, please, Curly?
I'm not even sure I want to know.
Oh, so he's coming down into the braking zone. See the traction. And then a lock-up from both of them. Little twitch from a Leitmal.
It might be a little bit too far at the moment. He does have the slipstream and DRS.
He's not gaining anything though.
He's going to be too far back on this lap. He's going to have to wait. He needs to close up more through the first sector if he wants to get a chance to move.
I like about it seems to struggle around these towards the triple right-hander. Schmidt is so close. He's within touching distance of that win, and he wants it. You can tell that he smells blood and he wants it. He's like a shark right now.
He's just going to try and get a good exit off this final corner. Oh, he's got a big moment oversteer, but Aleikmal's made a little mistake there as well. They're both quite rough.
He's gaining.
Schmidt
He's
is
gaining
closing.
into turn
He's
one.
got the DRS.
He's going to throw it into the inside. He's gone to the inside. Has he? He's done it. He's taken it. But
oh,
now,
no, they're side by side.
right on the inside.
Aleikmal's
taking it back. But into the S's. This is going to be dangerous. Into the S's. Surely not.
Oh, Schmidt backside. I think that's a sensible decision. I think that's the right call. Don't throw it away now.
Little bit of lag there from Aleikmal. I should hope that this doesn't end in a lag collision. Oh, he's right there.
He's right on the bumper of Aleikmal, coming down towards the back straight now. This is surely the moment for Schmidt. He's just got to have a good run out of this corner. Aleikmal almost goes defensive.
Oh, he's definitely. He might even have him before the DRS zone.
Little twitch there. No, Aleikmal's got a brilliant exit. Look at the traction out there. He had fantastic traction out of turn one as well, so that might be a strength for Aleikmal. And Schmidt is closing on him. He's got the DRS open. He's going very rapidly. He's going to actually go for it. Very late on the brakes. He's gone for the lead. And Aleikmal again on the outside. That traction.
Has the medium tire just got that little bit more than the softs? This doesn't. Oh, he's gone for it again, and he's got him this time. Well, for now he has. He's holding him off. Round the. Oh, it's brilliant overtaking there around the outside, around the triple right-hander. Aleikmal just seemed to go too tight onto the curbs, but now this is going to open up DRS for Aleikmal, who is very quick in DRS. Just, he's not gaining as much as I think he'd like to, but he's not going to chuck it.
Oh, this is coming to get you, coming out of the pits right in the middle of this battle.
Oh, this could end badly for all three of them.
Now coming to get you, he's on a set of super soft tires very late in the race. He's going to try and pull away. Schmidt needs to hold on to him right now. Schmidt needs to try and stay in his DRS so that he can defend from Aleikmal down the back straight. Although
if
he's very quick.
If Schmidt could get in front of him, that could completely stop this battle. I don't think he can.
He's left him for dead through the first sector.
Way too far. Just coming round. No dramas. Little drama from Aleikmal there. Double oversteer, but he's fine. Schmidt going again to the inside into the marbles. I think he's trying to either cool his tyres down, or he's trying to dig Aleikmal into a cold grave with the tyres. He cut the corner again.
Trying to break a slipstream, I think, is what he's aiming for. But he's managed to hold enough of a gap. Aleikmal was not as strong on the traction as he had been on previous laps. I think it's also worth just hopping on with Temp Fear at the moment in A-Cut. I know we don't focus on the championship drivers too much, but there's a battle for the lead going on here. JB, if you want to just stay on board with Aleikmal and Schmidt, because A-Cut has been catching Temp Fear for several laps now. He's on the super soft tire. Temp Fear is on the medium, and just if A-Cut is able to get past, he should have the advantage on the tires. Temp Fear's got beautiful traction out there. He's going defensive along the main straight, but A-Cut is not going to be close enough this time around to get the move done. Temp Fear has been on those tires since lap 13. A-Cut has been on the super soft tires since lap 16, so he's running a very long super soft stint towards the end. And those tires may actually be running out of life already. And he's on a very interesting strategy going soft and super soft, so he's a driver that's probably very easy on his tires to pull something like that off.
Yeah, there's different strategies on this game. Having the three choices for the tires, we touched upon it I think last race. Do you agree with having more than one option tire?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think giving the drivers lots of options in terms of strategy, it's good as a driver because you can find a strategy that works for you, but I think it's also good for the viewers, because they can see these different strategies, and drivers. There's a lot of overtaking, and drivers will you get these interesting battles on strategy as well, as Tempfear runs quite wide there.
I think some of the pressure is starting to get to Schmidt though, because he ran a little bit wide, coming just before the triple right-hander. I like him out there. He's hanging on like a bad smell, but he just is not. But he's not quick enough to catch up. And it is sad to say, but I've just looked at the race director, and I think Alikemal has now has added to his penalty, and added up to a total of 6 seconds as penalty. That's it's obviously around corner cutting.
Just a little update on Dave the Harp. He's our other reserve driver that's in the points. He's still in P10. He's currently sat in a big gap at the moment between GT5 King and RMS Maranello's ghosted car, so he should be in the points, and it should be a good result for him. Alikemal just dropping off the back of Schmidt now. I think that he's struggling on these tyres.
I think he's just accepted it as well. With that 6 second penalty, he wouldn't be able to pull away 6 seconds. Yeah, you'll see Schmidt has just blasted away from him since getting past him. And this is on lap 26 right now. So we have, what, 3 laps left? 2 and a bit laps.
Let's hop back on board with A-Cut, and he's still chasing Tempfear. This is the only battle we've got left on track, but it is for the win. These super soft tires have got to be pretty much crying out by this point, but I think the same can be said for Tempfear's tires. Towards the end of the race, only 1.5 laps left, and A-Cut he's holding on to Tempfear, but he just doesn't seem like he has quite enough to get the move done.
Would you like some juicy gossip?
Ooh, tell us some juicy gossip then, GP.
Tempfear and Stocky, who are teammates in the World Championship, the juicy gossip is they'll be both looking for new teammates for next year.
Oh, have they fallen out, have they?
Mutually agreed to separate, I think was the term that one of them said to me.
So they've fallen out. Were they battling for the championship by any chance?
Possibly.
It's a Lewis and Nico situation.
Still
We
in
were
that
friends
battle
at
for
the
the
start,
championship.
not now. Yeah, I don't think A-Cut's going to have enough though.
He looks like he's really struggling on these tires. I mean, he's gone for a pretty audacious strategy with the softs and then the super softs. But
How long's he been on these?
He's only been on these for about 11 laps at this point. I didn't think the super softs would get this far, but he's somehow making it work. But onto the final lap of the race now for these two, and I think A-Cut has fallen out of the DRS range of Tempfear, so unless Tempfear makes a big mistake,
I think Tempfear might have it. With the oversteer that A-Cut's struggling with, I do think Tempfear might have it. So this is a one-off, us not really focusing, but as it is the last and only battle left on track, this is a rarity for us to focus on. Let's have a look at earlier option. Oh, he's right up his gearbox. Or at least he was.
I think we found that one battle. So we got GT5 King. He's on the medium compound tires. Erner Urcham is also on the mediums, and these guys are going to be battling all the way through the final lap.
Yeah. So he's fighting. Oh, what happened there?
GT5 King is.
What's that lag?
I think there's been some kind of glitch there. I think what's happened is GT5 King's car is stalled, and that has just handed the place to Erner Urcham. Now, we just heard GT5 King got past him a couple of laps ago, and really not sure what that was. It could be some kind of glitch. I think I've seen that 1 or 2 times before, but
I've never seen that before.
He's just lost this place that he's gained.
Alright, here comes Tempfear coming around to win the race. Oh, he's in no man's land. Yeah, quite a nice win there. He just seemed to not be bothered in those last couple of laps after A-Cut pulled down off him. I am currently struggling to catch up with. There's our guys. Where's Schmidt? There you are.
He's
Schmidt
sixth
again.
currently.
He's in no man's land, but he is leading for us. He's coming around. Oh, very nearly span that towards the triple right-hander. His tyres must be shot right now, but he's happy. He's going to be celebrating in his chair because he's going to come around and win the US Grand Prix. It was quite an eventful race for him, wasn't it? Did he run out of fuel at the end?
I'm not sure. He might well have done, but I think he's held on to 6th place. Yes, he has. And that means the Leigh-Mal will come in 7th on the 1-stop. Really interesting race between those two, the 2-stop versus the 1.
With that, and with that 6-second penalty, Leigh-Mal might be a little bit grumpy with the fact that he
comes home in 8th. We've got GT5 King in 9th, and Dave Harp is the final point scorer. He's in P10.
Emma Ortle following behind them. Quite a loose race for Emma Ortle. Around the final corner now. Just a reminder to take a screenshot of the results, Curly. And that's it. So our winners tonight are having a struggle here. Our leading driver is Schmidt, and he's clearly been happy with that. With the difference between strategies is the big call around this track. I really think that Schmidt just nailed that.
Yeah, I mean that 2-stop was possibly looked like the way to go tonight. I think Leigh-Mal drove a good race, but just wasn't able to keep Schmidt behind him in those closing stages. I mean, Schmidt, in particular, those few laps after he pitted the second time onto the soft compound tires, he just had phenomenal pace. I mean, he was taking 2 seconds a lap out of a Leigh-Mal. So, yeah, I mean, I think he'll be very happy with the performance here, and we can speak to them about it on the podium. And
Yes,
our other reserve driver in the points, Dave the Harp, he's come home in 10th place. He was a lap down on 10th here at the end, but
that will put him into 3rd place, wouldn't it, for us?
Yep.
So our podium sitters are Schmidt, Leigh-Mal, terrible tonight. Schmidt, Leigh-Mal, and Dave the Harp. It's a good race, and I'm thoroughly excited to have watched that with you. Curly.
Yeah, that was excellent. Really enjoyed that.
So from 22 down to 13.
Just
do one last.
Quick reminder to the viewers that are watching. If you've got any questions you want to put to the podium sitters, put it down in the comments at FRR, and we have got somebody observing the YouTube chat that will be able to, it'll be DP, be able to come in the commentary box and put any questions to the drivers that are on YouTube. Also have a look at the answers from the question of the day, which we will put to the drivers as well. So DP will be getting the drivers into the podium in a moment, and yeah, JB, get your questions ready for them.
Well, I think it's mainly going to be a strategy call in the setup questions tonight, isn't it? It was a very strong setup race.
Yep. Hello everybody, people can hear me now.
Hello, Dave.
Can you hear me now?
here. I was just going to say, I am about to invite the podium sitters in, but there haven't been many guesses at the answer of the question of the day today. So if you want to just give the question of the day out again, and for any of the viewers watching that want to have a guess at the answer, feel free to pop the answer on the YouTube chat. So yeah, guys, if you could do the question
I haven't had my
of the
guess
day
yet,
again.
have I?
That's a good point. You two haven't had a guess yet, and you might have to do that. I might have to as well.
I think we'll wait for the drivers to get their guesses in first. Use that as a sort of banker. So the question of the day is, how many retirements have there been in the history of the American Grand Prix? So that is all American Grand Prix, not just those ones at the Circuits of America where we were racing tonight. How many retirements have there been?
I think
It's an interesting one.
at least one of you's got to have a guess.
I'll take it. I'll take one for the team and have a guess. I'm gonna say 55.
I'm noting that down. It's going to be framed and put on your wall.
How bad is it?
Is that your race number by any chance?
No, my race number's 13. Everyone knows that.
Oh yeah, I'm looking for some.
It's only tattooed on my arm.
Yep. Just thinking we may not get Dave the Harp in the chat because he may not have realised that he was one of the three reserve drivers on the podium. I've noticed that Schmetter's joined. Have we got Alikamal as well? Okay.
Alikamal, yeah, we've got Schmetter and Alikamal and Dave the Harp have both been sent an invite. Dave the Harp, Alikamal may need a little bit of help though, but I think Dave the Harp, you might be right, Steve, may not have realised that a podium was available to him because it looks like he's gone to go and do a little bit of fighting on battlefield.
So it goes from being in F1 to being at war.
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do then is we'll crack on with the questions for Schmet, and if Alikamal does jump in, we can obviously ask the questions to him. Yep. So Curly and JB, questions for Schmet?
Curly, do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay, so let's talk about qualifying. You qualified P10 on the super soft tires. How do you think qualifying went overall?
Well, my qualifying it went pretty bad. So I was running late, so I was a bit maybe disturbed or whatever. But it was not a very good qualifier. But I had a okay strategy, and it worked out fine. So I think I got the best out of it.
In terms of the start of the race, when we hopped back on board with the drivers, you'd made your way up to 5th place from 10th on the grid. Was that was it sort of a decision to be aggressive into turn 1, or how did you find yourself in 5th?
I got inspired by Magnussen in Monaco. So no, I was lucky to get on the inside. There was some disturbance in the drivers in front, but I was lucky to get on the inside, and that I think that gave me the 5th place.
So just running off the 5th place idea, did you underfuel your car deliberately to try and be faster at the start, or did you just stick with the 100 milligrams given to you?
I underfuel, and then I adjust the settings on the straights. So I've tested my race strategy, and I knew approximately how much fuel I needed. So I think I took off maybe 5 kilos or so.
Okay, that was a good race. It was a good win. Congratulations to you, sir.
Thanks.
Front Racing GP, have you got any questions?
Well, the only question I've got is we saw a lot of contact at the first corner. Was you close to the contact? Did you manage to avoid it, or was it all behind you?
I made a small contact, but fortunately my wing didn't get damaged, so that was a lucky one.
And this race, was it always going to definitely be the 2-stop then? You realised that there was no other option for yourself, the 2-stop was going to be the quickest way around here?
I decided that it had to be a 2-stop to get more speed and maybe to get some more duels and racing, and it worked out actually. So I got a couple of good duels, and it worked for me. So at the final couple of laps, I was fighting Alikamal, and I could see he was on the medium tires, and he couldn't keep up the pace. So yeah, I guess it worked out for me.
If you were given, sorry, just going to one last question, JB, before you get another one. If you were given an opportunity to race in the World Championship next week, would you be considering the 2-stop, or would you maybe step it up to a 1-stop, because that's what the World Championship drivers did today?
I would probably go for a 1-stop.
Okay. So,
All right, JB.
speaking of Ali Kamal, hello Ali Kamal. Welcome to the podium. How's it going?
I've got some news for you, JB. Alaikawal has joined us for a bit of a podium chat. However, unfortunately, he doesn't speak a lot of English, so I'm dropping the translator bombshell on you. Sertek Karatepe has also joined us in the WCR comms box. So, if you've got a couple of questions for Alaikawal, we can ask them, and then it'll take a moment for Sertek to pop it onto Alaikawal, and we'll get a response. So, might be a good idea to get all your questions out in one go. But yeah, Alaikamal has joined us, so hello Alaikamal, hello Sertak, JB, Curly Whirly, go for it. Good luck.
Well, I think just one thing quickly is just to make sure your settings are set to allow to be shared as well for both of you two that have just come in.
Oh yeah, we didn't check that. We're like Mark Webber and David Coulthard between us two. We're completely useless.
Which one of us has got the square jaw? That's the question.
Oh, not me. I've got a beard, so wouldn't be me.
All right, you want to lead us off for the questions, JB?
So, Sertek, if you could translate this over to him. How did it feel? Did you? How was the fuel consumption for Ali Kamal? Was it? Did he underfuel the car, or did he keep it at its standard level?
Okay. Emin hocam, yakıt durumu nasıldı diye soruyorlar. Hani genelde standartta mı gittin yoksa hani yakıt tasarrufu mu yaptın yoksa hani biraz yani tam gaz kullandığın oldu mu diye sordular.
Yok düzlüklerde hep riskte kullandım.
Düzlüklerde ne? Anlamadım.
Hep risk. Yani riskte kullandım.
Ha. Hı.
Yani şeyde rekabete girdiğim zaman Schmidt'le o zaman hep açtım. Yani
Genelde standartta sürdün yani.
standart ve açtım yani birinci düzlüklerde. Ama o da rekabete girdiğim zaman.
Anladım. Okay, he says he used rich fuel mix when he was competing with Schmidt, especially on the straight of the circuit. But in general, he generally used standard fuel consumption.
Okay. Shirley,
Excellent.
any questions?
And I'll just ask on the strategy. Was it always going to be the one stop? And considering the battle with Schmidt at the end, who was on the two stop, do you think that you picked the right strategy, or if you were to do it again, would you go for a two stop?
Okay. Emin hocam, stratejiyi soruyorlar. Hani özellikle son bölümlerde şeyle mücadele ederken hani tek pit yaptın galiba, öyle mi?
Evet, tek.
Hani bunun senin için doğru olduğuna inanıyor musun diye soruyorlar. Hani 2 pit yapsan daha iyi olur muydu senin için? Hiç öyle düşündüğün oldu mu diye sordular.
Tamam, anladım ben az çok da. Şöyle, onunla sırasında daha startta Ömer'le temasımız oldu ya, orada kanadım kırık sağ taraf. O yüzden şeyde de değiştiremedim. Değiştirme tuşunu aktif etmemişim ya, kanat değiştirme. O yüzden değiştirmedikçe baştan sona kadar hep sağ kanat kırık gittim. O yüzden sağ taraflarda özellikle o 8. virajda dönemiyordum, tamam mı? Yani onda Schmidt falan görmüştür yani o diğerli benimle mücadeleye girenler. Tek pit yeterli. Hatta yani çok bile geldi yani tek pit. Çok rahat bitirilebilir burada tek pitte. Ama dediğim gibi kanat kırıktı, o yüzden fazla bir şey almadık yani. Özellikle sağa dönüşlerde kanat randıman vermiyordu yani.
Anladım. Okay, in the very first beginning of the race, in the first corner, he made a contact with another driver on evolution, and he broke the right side of his front wing, so he had to pit earlier. But there was a problem in the pit lane because the pit crew didn't change the front wing of his car. So for the whole race, he had to drive his car with a damage inside and right side of his front wing. So he struggled with especially fast corners to right. So he says the one pit stop strategy was good, more than good for him. He never thought about pitting 2 times.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. GP, do you have any questions?
I don't, but I'm going to check with DP to see if there's any questions on YouTube.
Well, let's see. Someone called from a Racing GP has asked a couple of questions on YouTube. I don't know why you couldn't just ask them yourself. Okay, question to Ali Kamal. Did you think you was going to beat Schmidt?
Okay, is this a subjective question for him?
Yes. Yes. Could you translate that, please?
Tamam. Okay. Dostum soruyorlar. Schmidt'i yenebileceğini düşündün mü diye soruyorlar. Fikrini almak istiyorum.
Düşündüm. Hatta işte kanadım kırık olmasaydı hatta mücadeleye girdim onunla. O da fark etmiştim. Yani beni eğer yani mücadelede görmüşse, yani iyi bir sürücüyse mesela kendisi, dikkatlice sağa dönüşlerde zaten zayıf kalıyordum. Yani onu fark etmiştir o. Zaten beni de dediğim gibi o 8. yılda gelmeden geçtiği için yani orada bir şey yapmıyordum yani karşımdakine karşı. Hiçbir şansım yoktu yani, dönemiyordum çünkü araçta. Ama Schmidt'le güzel bir kapışmamız oldu. Bir de onun 2 piti vardı herhalde. Ben tek bittim. O yeni lastiklerle benimle hani yanıma geldi. O yüzden onda sarı lastik vardı, bende beyaz lastik. O yüzden hem de kanat ancak bu kadar. Yani ama güzeldi, keyifliydi yani.
Okay. Ali Kemal is really confident of himself about beating Schmidt because he says if he had a fresh front wing without any damage, he thinks that he could really compete and beat Schmidt in the end while competing, because I guess Schmidt had made 2 stops, but Ali Kemal did just 1 stop, and he had fresher tires. But while turning the 8th corner, he says he was really struggling, and he says it was really impossible to control the car at that turn, so he had to give up, and he gave up that fight. But he says he's really confident if he had a good car and a good, front wing.
Good answer. Okay, that's about it from YouTube. We have still got a question of the day to finish. So Curly Whirly, if you want to ask a question of the day again, and once he's done that, Sertat, you might need to translate that to Ali Kamal. You may be even able to have a little guess yourself. So Curly Whirly, if you could give out question of the day once again, and we'll get our guesses in.
Okay, so for the final time, the question of the day is, how many retirements have there been at American Grand Prix? And that's every American Grand Prix in history. How many retirements have there been?
Okay. Dostum, soru şu. Bütün Amerika Grand Prix'lerinde, hani tarih boyunca bütün Amerika'da yapılmış Formula 1 Grand Prix'lerinde kaç kere yarış dışı kalma olmuştur diyor. Bir tahmini istiyor senden.
Bu peki 2012 mi yoksa daha eskileri mi?
Bütün Amerika'da şu ana kadar yapılmış, gelmiş geçmiş bütün F1 yarışlarında. Indianapolis dahil. Anladığım kadarıyla.
Indianapolis. Austin ve Indianapolis ikisi bir.
Aha, evet. Toplamda kaç retirement, yani yarış dışı kalma olmuştur diyor.
Peki gerçekte mi yoksa
Yok, gerçekte soruyor. Yani tahmini bir rakam istiyorsun.
tahmini bir rakam. Vallahi yani zor bir soru.
At bir şey.
Yani onun üzerindedir. Belki daha fazla, belki 20.
Yani bir rakam söylemem lazım kesin olarak. Bence daha fazla.
25 diyeyim.
Okay, he says
Ama
25.
Sertaç, şunu da söyleyiver de, belki bir daha bana söz hakkı gelmez.
It's getting quite in depth, this, isn't it?
Güzel diyorlar ama yarıştan keyif aldığını söylersin. Güzel, eğlenceli bir lig. Bir de şu var eksimiz. Tabii biz
Sounds like
takımdan
a really
geliyoruz,
long number to me.
antrenman yapılıyor ama şey antrenmansız giriyoruz, o yüzden hazır yarış olduğu için günübirlik girdiğimiz için bu son saat
He doesn't have to name them all.
Tamam.
Nerede?
Tamam, onları söyleyeyim. Okay, okay guys, he says it's just a guess, by the way. He says 25.
25.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a lot of words for saying 25. Okay, Schmet, what about yourself?
Me?
I'm guessing 38.
38. Right, okay, Lord JB, Curly Whirly, you two don't know the answer, I don't either, so come on, what are your guesses?
I've said 53, haven't I?
That's what you did say, yep. Curly?
Yeah, Curly Whirly?
Okay, I'm gonna say 110.
Ooh, big difference to us.
Ooh.
Dave? DB?
Well, the question I've got now is, do I go with 54 or 111?
You mean old man.
Oh, let's see, I reckon... I'm going to go for 73.
Okay.
I think we should let Sirtek Karatafi have a guess as well.
Yeah.
Come on, Sirtek.
165.
165.
Well,
okay.
They're quite sparse.
I can say that Sirtak is the closest, but he's not exactly close.
Ooh.
The answer is 489.
489?
489. Do you know how many Grand Prix there have been in America?
Well, I thought it was a trick question.
There's been 48 Grand Prix in America, and on average, the average has been about 10 DNFs per race, but there has been some which have been 16, 17, 18, and even 20 drivers that didn't finish a race. So yeah, 489.
I thought it was so massive that it had to be tiny.
So there you go, 489 DNFs.
I think that surprised everybody. Okay, just about time to wrap this up then, folks.
Yeah, JB, it's over to you to wrap it up, please.
So next time on Front Row Racing is my race tomorrow, which is the World Series Reserves, and I dropped my phone and it's probably broken. As I almost dropped my controller as well. But this was a good race. I thoroughly enjoyed commentating on with you two. Congratulations again to Schmet and the Lycamal. Thank you, Sirtek, for the translation. So, how do you think the World Series will do tomorrow, the reserves?
I'm looking forward to, participate in the commentary team.
We're looking forward to have you with us as well.
Thanks.
Okay, so that is it then from us here in the World Championship Reserves, and yeah, we'll see you all again tomorrow.
By the way, I guess he's really pleased to race in this league, and with all these competitions and enjoyment that all drivers are having, he's really proud and happy to be part of this league. And but there's a problem that he can't practice for the races. So when it comes to getting the seat and race in this league, he's sometimes struggling, and he's trying to cope with it. Except that everything is really good and perfect for him. He wants to say that.
Yeah. Just when I finish the broadcast in a moment, if you'd like to just say to him, we appreciate having him here, and for saying what he's done without any practice is quite remarkable, and we look forward to having him on track at the next round.
Yeah, he's actually a really experienced driver in terms of his age and the years that he has been playing Formula One games. Yeah, I agree with you about that.
Okay, thank you, and we appreciate all the nice comments as well. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you to you guys.
Thank you.